It's a showdown between two NFC East rivals this weekend, though, when the Cowboys take on the Commanders. Both teams are coming off a loss. Cowboys defense couldn't stop Rico Dowdle and the Panthers, and Washington give up a last-second field goal after that fumble to fall to the Bears Monday night. Jerry Jones was asked how he felt watching that Commanders Monday night loss. Take a listen.
It just reminded me that we are still in it. I see so much parity, and then you factor in that these teams get compromised with injury. And we can, have, and may. But if we should have some good go of it here over the next weeks ahead with our injury situation and return of injury, and we can get some wins, then this thing with Dak playing the way he's playing, and the last thing that I'm thinking about is in any way being out of the hunt.
All right, Jerry's optimistic. Stephen A., your thoughts on Jerry's comments?
Well, first of all, again, happy belated birthday to my buddy Jerry Jones, who I've got love for, but I think he's off his rocker, and I have told him this, and I'm going to say it to him again. You know, when you sit up there and you look at how horrid the Dallas Cowboys defense is, what I'm going to do is on national television, reach out to my man, the playmaker, Michael Irvin, and ask him to do his damn job. Okay, enough's enough. This is a man that came on First Take and acknowledged that, you know what, he dropped the ball because he should have been all over Jerry Jones before Micah Parsons got traded to talk Jerry Jones out of doing such an asinine thing, okay? But he didn't have the impact that he was supposed to have. This is yet another example. You're going to go out on the vine for Matt Eberflus? Are you kidding me? That's what you're going to do if you're Jerry Jones? There's nobody I'd rather be in the foxhole with. What? Then obviously you ain't trying to get out. You ain't trying to get out. You're trying to stay right into that purgatory that you in, because you can't tell me with a straight face that you're cool with what you're seeing. Michael Irvin went on X and literally tweeted, he has never seen a defense with so many people so wide open. So many people so wide open. It's like everybody was open. Who's playing defense? This is what you're talking about. It. I have renamed the Dallas Cowboys the Alice Cowboys. Take the D off their name. It's non-existent. They're the Alice Cowboys. That's what they are. And Jerry Jones will sit here, all right, because you know how he's going to be. He's going to double down. He's going to double down. Yeah, I traded him. That's right, and I stand by it. You know, we got Kenny Clark, and we got 2 first-round picks coming up. We've got assets that we're going to use to build. Not only that, the $41 million I was going to give Micah Parsons. Look at the money that I was able to go in other places and spend. We'll see. What you need to be thinking about is how you're going to play George Pickens, and you need to be thinking about how you're going to ingratiate yourself with David Mulugeta, because what you don't want to do is have history repeat itself. He represents Micah Parsons, and now he represents George Pickens, and George Pickens is showing that he deserves his money. He's going to earn his money. You're going to have to pay that, brother. Let's not sit up there and let something get in the way of that. In the end, what it comes down to is my Libra buddy, who I got love for, says things in this day and age. I mean, he is 83. And he has openly acknowledged that his best years are behind him. He is staring at his own mortality. And when he comes out, yet still doubles down with the nonsensical drivel that he does, it does leave you scratching your head and saying, Jay, what the hell wrong with you? What the hell wrong with you? You watching that defense just like the rest of us watching that defense. What, you need some binoculars? What the hell is going on? Because he doesn't have a defense. They are the Alice Cowboys. It's who they are.
Alice in Wonderland and Alice Cowboys. Kimberly Martin, are they still in it, though? Can you see a path?
In what?
In it. In
what?
the hunt. In the conversation. Can the Cowboys still pull themselves out of this hole?
The only reason I have sort of faith or positive vibes when I think of the Cowboys is the quarterback. The problem is, like we talked about on Get Up, Dak can't play 22 positions. Steven's right. They don't bring a defense with them right now. When you look at Russell Wilson and the 450 passing yards, when you look at Rico Dowdle, that is like me telling you, hey, a week from today, next Wednesday, meet me outside 3 o'clock. I'm going to slap the crap out of you. And you say, okay, next Wednesday, you come to me and you're like, all right, slap me. What are we doing? What are we doing? This man, Rico Dowdle, said, I am coming, buckle up, because you cannot tackle me. And he proved it. 239 scrimmage yards. That, to me, it's sort of a pride thing. Like, at that point in that game, it's like, this guy, no. We got to do something else. He can't have the last word on us as a unit. What's also a little frustrating with Jerry is part of the Micah Parsons trade discussion was he was sort of like, you know what, we really need to stop the run. We really need to stop the run. That's why he's like, Kenny Clark, this is what we got. And where's the run stoppage? It's the same issue they had coming into the season. So no, unfortunately, Jerry's just talking to talk.
Oh, for two? What do you think?
No, I think Washington's defense stinks too. I mean, Washington against the Bears, their defense couldn't stop anybody. They do not have a good defensive football team. They're just not good
They
defensively.
looked old on Monday night.
Plus, McLaurin's still hurt. I'm not even sure if he's going to play this week, and they have a lot of issues from that standpoint. Daniels has lost a little of his charm from that he had last year based on being hurt. He had a terrible fumble.
How dare you.
Cost his
Bad
team the
fumble?
game. He didn't make those plays. And I love him, but that was a bad play. And then, of course, they let him go right down the field. And remember, they're 2-3-1, the Cowboys, okay? I mean, the Commanders are 3-3, and the Eagles are 4-2. So, I mean, there's no guarantee. And they lost the game against Carolina because when the game was tied with 7 minutes to go, and Dallas had been great offensively, they went 3 and out.
Yep.
He had a terrible possession, and he played great, Prescott. I'm not blaming him. But they really should have taken the ball, taken some time off the clock, and do what Carolina did when they won the game. Dallas should have done that in the possession before. They threw 2 screens. They lost 6 yards on each screen, and then they had a punt, and then they went down the field, and they kicked the field goal to win the game. Dallas had the ball offensively, middle of the fourth quarter, tied with, and he's played great, with a great offense, and they went 3 and out. That is you can't do it. In this day and age in the NFL, you cannot do that because you're going to lose the game.
But what you're saying is Dak literally has no margin for error. He has to
Correct,
be perfect because they have no defense.
But very few of these teams have defenses. I mean, Kansas City's defense is good. Denver's defense is good. But
Well, then
all
why are
these
you
teams,
complaining
these
about the
teams score.
Commanders? Then why are you complaining about the Commanders then? If most of these teams don't have a defense, why are you complaining about the Commanders, especially when we're talking about them going up against the Dallas Cowboys, because their defense certainly ain't worse than the Dallas Cowboys. So why are you bringing that up? It makes sense of that. Makes sense of that.
I just saw them on Monday night. They couldn't stop anybody. And the Bears offense,
Excuse me. They lost 25-24. The Dallas Cowboys are giving up 30 and 40 points on the regular. How are we talking about that? By the way, Jaden Daniels he didn't have a great game. You think that's going to happen 2 times in a row? You think that's going to be him against the Dallas Cowboys defense? You think that's going to happen to him?
I'm not saying they're not going to score 30 points, but Dallas could score 30 points against them. What do you think? This is the George Allen defense in the 70s? I mean, come on. They're not that good. This is not the over-the-hill gang. They are not that good defensively.
You just finished saying. You just finished saying most teams ain't that good, and I'm telling you, the Dallas Cowboys, their defense is that bad. Their defense is so bad, you shouldn't have names on the back of their jerseys on the defensive side of the ball. You really shouldn't. You should be hiding. It might compromise you business-wise. Could you imagine having a resume right now, going to try to get a job, saying that I played for the Dallas Cowboys defense? Could you imagine that? I mean, if Jerry Jones is so confident that Matt Eberflus is the answer, and there's nobody I'd rather be in that foxhole with. If that's how you gonna be, right? Well, tell Matt Eberflus to take his resume with Dallas this year and think that's gonna get him a job in the NFL. He'd be lucky to have an assistant's job, let alone a coordinator's job. I'm telling you that right now. Their defense is awful.
Do you like Green Bay's defense, Hotshot? You like Green Bay's defense?
I haven't liked it over the last few weeks. I liked them against the Commanders in week 2.
Well, how'd you like them against Dallas?
I liked them in week 1 against Detroit.
And how'd you like him in week 4 in Dallas when they gave up 40 points?
It was bad. It was horrible. Okay?
And Flacco went up and down the field in the second half last week. Up and down, down.
Is that the game? Is that the game they lost 13-10? Was that the game?
No, they lost 24-18 or 27-18.
I'm talking. Oh, I thought you were talking about Cleveland when they lost to Cleveland. My bad. I'm sorry about that. But that's what I'm saying to you. I'm just saying to you. I'm like, look. There's a lot of bad defenses. But even in a league with a lot of bad defenses, the Dallas Cowboys stand out. They stand out.
I will say that.
Am I lying?
Both these teams are playing this weekend. we're going to come in Monday morning and it might be, hey, are you hitting the panic button on A or B? So I asked, and Stephen A, we'll start with you. Who needs it more? Who needs it more to keep the dogs at bay and say, okay, we can breathe a little bit? And who needs it where it's, hey, we're not talking about the season's a lost cause on Monday morning if they lose again?
I think the Dallas Cowboys need it more. And I'll tell you why. I think they need it more because we know their defense is trash. And we know there's no light at the end of the proverbial tunnel when it comes to that. The offense is carrying you. So ultimately, with George Pickens doing his thing, listen, ultimately you're going to get CeeDee Lamb back. And you're expecting their offense will be even more prolific, right? So since that's the expectation, the Dallas Cowboys or the Alice Cowboys are clearly planning on scoring 35 to 40 a game. And there's nobody who could definitively say that can't happen with the way Dak Prescott is playing because the brother's an MVP candidate. We got to give love where love is due, okay? Even I have to sit here, Kimberly, and I have to say Baker Mayfield might be ahead of him, okay? I got to look at Daniel Jones as well and others. But Dak Prescott is in the conversation considering the kind of season that he's had. 4 offensive linemen out, 4 of them, along with CeeDee Lamb, and you still playing the way that you playing offensively. We got to give Dak Prescott a boatload of credit, and we got to fantasize about the possibility that their offense will be incredibly prolific when you talk about CeeDee Lamb with George Pickens both being out there for defenses to have to deal with, okay? But the point is that you're riding on that because you can't rely on your defense. No matter what happens to the Washington Commanders, we got a belief in Jaden Daniels, but we also believe structurally, culturally, with Quinn as a head coach, an experienced guy that once took a team to a Super Bowl. We've got to believe that even with a loss, eventually they will right the ship as the season progresses. We know that the Dallas Cowboys are going to nosedive if they can't get anything going offensively because their defense is just trash, and that's the issue.
Stephen, you're a smart guy. Been covering sports a very long time. So I'm a little surprised how wrong you could be on this. Because if we are going to say, if you are literally in one breath going to say the Dallas defense is trash, it's so bad, the D's not even there, you can't argue that this game, the Commanders don't need this game more because they are facing a team that has allowed, they just gave up 239 yards from scrimmage to Rico Dowdle. They allowed Russell Wilson, who's not even a starter anymore, to throw for 450. If the Commanders lose to the Cowboys, you cannot sit here and tell me that you are not going to show up on TV the next day talking about, I don't know, Jaden Daniels. I was expecting them to win, but now I don't know what to think because they lost to the Cowboys. Like, what's going on? Right? Like that to me.
First of all, here we go. I actually like that imitation. I really
it was
I
good.
know. I think you very well. I know. Yes.
It's pretty damn good. I got to give it to you. I like it. I like it. All right. But here's what I'm saying, Kimberly. All I'm trying to say is this. I think that the Commanders can afford a loss and continue moving forward as the season progresses to correct the ship. I think Dallas's defense is what it is, so they need to take every bit of crumbs they have while they can grab it because I don't believe there's any relief in sight on the defensive side of the ball and that their defense will lose several games for them. I think Sunday's game against Carolina was a perfect example. They didn't lose that game because of their offense. The fact is that their defense, Rico Dowdle showed up. Rico Dowdle, not Rico Suave. Nope. Rico Dowdle showed up and said, a week in advance to buckle up. The quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys said his former teammate told us to show up, told us to buckle up. We didn't buckle up. And we all know it was because of the defense. I'm saying that Sunday's game was a perfect example of what may very well transpire more often than not as this season progresses. The offense shows up, produces, but the defense gives you nothing to lean on, and as a result, it costs you games. I think that's what's going to happen to the Dallas Cowboys, and I think that's the reason why Jerry Jones is going to go into the offseason with a bunch of people chirping about the fact that he didn't have a pass rusher to get to these opposing quarterbacks and Micah Parsons because he let them walk out the door, and it made your defense suffer.
Again, the Green Bay defense has been awful with quote-unquote Lawrence Taylor.
Wow, man.
Oh, they have so bad, the Packer defense. But I'm going to base this simply on where we are at the records and the fact they're home.
Yep.
3-3, 2-3-1. Obviously in Dallas, I'll say the game a little. If you will think about division, and if Dallas, why would you not think about that right now?
That's
so.
really
I
the
think
path for
the
them.
game would be a little bit more important for Dallas. Home game, divisional opponent, they got a worse record. Need to win the game.
I would add in this, all this talk of Dallas's defense. Dak Prescott is the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. CeeDee Lamb is one of the highest paid wide receivers in the NFL. That offensive line is one of the highest paid offensive line. Like, Jerry can't be surprised that all their resources are being spent on offense. So this might be how it is, Stephen. This might be what the budget is.
Peter, Kimberly, I'm very disappointed in the both of you.
Go on.
For letting Doggy sit there and talk that drivel. The Green Bay Packers gave up 40 points to the Dallas Cowboys. Outside of that, these are their other 4 games, okay? They've given up 13, 18, okay, 13, and 18.
He's right. Packers.
Doggy got us thinking they've been giving up 30 like it's going out of style.
Take back the Lawrence Taylor
18, 13, and 18.
It's been pretty good. That's been the strength of their team. That's a bad
One of them was
right
at
there.
Cleveland.
Sure.
That's a terrible
But they had
offensive team.
Cleveland had 3 points with
I agree, but I'm not going to give them credit for stopping the Cleveland Browns. And Flacco went up and down the second half.
You said their defense has been awful. They got one game when they were awful. One.
1.5. 1.5.
One.
1.5.
Stop it. Stop it. I mean, you're ridiculous. So that's a half game now. I never heard of a half game. I thought it was a game. I never heard of a half game. You're so ridiculous.